today. This is going to be a big one. Here goes nothing. All right, let's stop at the bottom. We got Marissa. She's the librarian that Hopper went on a date with and never called back. She gets a solid C. She's pretty funny in the scene she's in. Ellen Stinson. Who is this? Is this the government lady? I don't really know who she is. She didn't make much of an impact. I'll put her an F. Ray Carroll. Pretty solid. He made a good impact in the scene he was in. He was the one that they were going to kill 11 when she was with 7 or Kali in them. Maybe she was 8. But then they didn't kill this guy because 11 saw that he had kids. Threw the gun out of Kelly's hand. That was pretty good. Oh, Eden Bingo. She's solid. She can go S. Her scenes with Argyle are great. Andy. He's not bad, but he serves his role good. I think he's the one that gets kicked in the nuts by Erica, so that's pretty solid. Russian Demogorgon, solid A. Solid A. Great fight scene they have with the Demogorgon and all the testing they did on him and them chasing Hopper. Very interesting. This is a Russian Demogorgon, and they had a bunch of demo dogs as well. Did the Demogorgon chase Hopper? I don't remember. It was just demo dogs. Anthony Hatch. Don't remember this guy. Didn't make an impact. F. Demogorgon itself. Solid double S tier. I mean, you just can't even talk about it. From the original season, Demogorgon, phenomenal monster. Hooks instantly. The way that they had it in the other world, feeding, terrifying. Great. Just absolutely phenomenal. Down to the final fight scene. Jake, this guy's a pretty solid jerk. Could leave him in B. Does pretty good. Oh, Dart. Yeah, double S for Dart. Great character. Him and Dustin's relationship is phenomenal, even at the end of the season when he gives him the nougat. Good stuff. Mr. Bingham. Don't really remember this guy. Putting him in an F. Vicky. Oh, Vicky's great. She can get a solid A. Vicky's great. Her and Robin's little back and forth are a lot of fun. Really adorable, especially by the end of the season. That's some good feels by the end of the season. Mind Flayer, I would say B if we're just going based on season 2 and 3, but because of season 4, Mind Flayer is a definite S. Solid S. The way that Vecna, who's now going double S, is now controlling the Mind Flayer, and they put everything into perspective, it makes the Mind Flayer so much better than I ever thought it was before. Neil Hargrove. Oh my gosh, he's an S tier character. I mean, he's so hateable. I hate him so much. And the fact that they got me to hate him that much, very impressive stuff. Very impressive stuff. He's terrible. Agent Harmon, this guy deserves at least a solid A. He's kind of boring for the first few scenes he's in, but then once the shootout scene happens in the house, he really handles that business. Agent Wallace deserves another S. He handles that shootout scene well. Obviously, he doesn't do anything like Agent Harmon does, but then he gets captured, and the torture scenes with him, while they're not fun to watch at all, the way he handles himself in them is phenomenal. It takes a lot of him going through stuff to be able to rat out on 11 in them, so solid A tier character. Florence, like, I recognize her face, but I don't remember her, so we'll give her a D, just credit for being remembered. Wayne Munson. Yeah, put him in the S tier. Great character. His fervent defense of Eddie all the way up to the scene at the end when he's talking to Dustin. Phenomenal stuff. And the scene when he's talking to Nancy and she convinces him to give his side of the story. Great scene. 2. I'll give him a solid A. He was really hateable. You know, what can I say? He was really hateable. Doris Driscoll. Oh, she's sweet. Yeah, give her an A. She's really likable and sweet. Miss Kelly. She's kind of boring. Didn't really make much of an impact for me. Oh, Funshine. He was probably my favorite of all the friends, so you can get an A. And then Mick. Oh, she made like pretty much no impact on me. Axel, I'll give him a solid B. Dottie gets a C. She's pretty boring too. Benny Hammond, solid A for Benny. I'm tempted to put Benny in S. I mean, Benny's great character made a great impact in his short time on screen. To the point that I think that's why they brought back Benny's place for them to party at in Season 4. Benny is a very likable character. Claudia Henderson, gotta give her an S. She's such a sweet mom. Her love of the cat, her relationship with Dustin. She's not in many scenes, but the scenes she's in, she's very likable. Connie, this is the woman that came and like told them stuff. She didn't get a B. She seemed nice and she communicated her points well, but she wasn't in much and she was kind of boring, honestly. Keith, this guy's fun to watch on screen, but he's again like not that impactful and kind of boring, so I'll give him a solid B. Lonnie, very hateable, but I don't want to quite give him too much credit. I mean, Neil Hardgrove gets credit for how hateable he is, but Lonnie Byers is just, I don't know, not a fan of even hating him. Just kind of like, get off the screen. Don't enjoy his screen time. Angela, very, very hateable. Got to give her an A for how hateable she is. Grigori, I hate doing this, but a solid C for Grigori. I mean, he's such a fun character that they introduced that they did not utilize well enough at all. He definitely should have had more kills throughout the series. They definitely should have made him more scary and not have more jump scares with him, and he just wasn't used enough. James Dante, he was kind of the boring bully. He gets a C. Troy Walsh, way more interesting as a bully. Put him in the A tier. I'm tempted to even put him in the S tier. He's very memorable. Victor Creel, double S's for Robert Englund. Plays that role so phenomenally. Oh my gosh, what a brutal, brutal life that man has lived. Susie, I love Susie. Solid S tier character. Dusty Bun. Bruce, I kind of like Bruce. I kind of hate Bruce. Like, I like to hate him, is what I'm saying. I don't like him. I'm having a tough time deciding where to put Bruce. I'll give him an S tier. He's got some really, really hateable lines. Tom Holloway, fun, but not as impactful. He's way scarier than Bruce. I like Bruce before he becomes the Mind Flayer more as a hateable character. I like him less. But then once they're the Mind Flayer, I like Tom more. But we're going with the original versions here. All right. Carol, solid C. Not great. Oh, Alexi. Double S's for Alexi. Alexi's great. Alexi's phenomenal. Heather Howell, I feel really bad for her. She doesn't make too much of an impact on me, but I feel really bad for her character. She's well acted, and she seems like a pretty genuine person the way she went to go check on Billy. Tommy Hagen, he's a solid B character. I mean, he's not in much other than Season 1, but he makes a good impact in Season 2, I think it is, being like Billy's new right-hand man for being a bully. He works solid. I like him a lot more than Carol. Jack Sullivan. Oh, this guy's hateable, but he's so boring. Solid D-tier character. Jason Carver. Oh, man. Jason's definitely getting an S tier. I mean, the reaction he's gotten from audiences getting him to hate him so much is actually quite amazing. And I definitely feel for Jason in a certain way. Dude has absolutely no idea what's going on. No idea what happened to his girlfriend. The cops lead him down the path to think that it's Eddie. And then he, buys into the hysteria of devil worship. So, I get it. I mean, I get it. I don't like the dude at all. And he's really hateable. But I get it. So that's why he's definitely an S-tier character. Patrick, solid character. Put him in the A. Fred Benson, B tier. He's all right. He doesn't make too much of an impact, but I really like the scenes he's in, and I was like the whole time, I'm like, I would like to see more from him. I think he would be a good, sidekick for Nancy, but in and out real quick, just like that. And you already know Chrissy Cunningham. Get in the double S's. Do I even need to say anything? Phenomenal one-episode character. No character in the entire show that's only in one episode nails it like Chrissy. Larry Klein. Solid B character. I mean, I want to put him higher, but he doesn't make enough of an impact on the story. His character overall is boring. Doesn't really have an arc. And he's just meh. I'm not a fan. I love Carrie Elways, but that character I'm not a huge fan of. Terry Ives, solid S tier. Great character. The way they handle those flashbacks and the way that she handles not saying anything, but still managing to have a really strong connection with Eleven in those scenes when she's just repeating the same words. It's really powerful stuff. Really powerful stuff. Becky's a good character too. I can't fault her, but the way that she called Hopper once 11 made it clear that she didn't want that to happen, it really just kind of ruined her character for me. I was just like, are you kidding me? Like I get it, but it's like, All right. We got Yuri. Yuri's the best. Ain't much you can say about Yuri. Yuri's hilarious, total douchebag. That conversation that he has at the end of the season with Enzo, where Enzo's like, where's that war hero that they told me so much about? Great stuff. Really put Yuri's character into a completely different light. I loved it. Now we got Phil Callahan. Let's just put both these two in the D tier. They are terrible cops. They're embarrassments. Every time they come on screen, they do something stupider than the last time. Holly Wheeler, she's a D tier character just because she doesn't make much of an impact on the story. She's barely there, and it sucks because I want to see more of anything from that character because I forget she exists most of the time. And that's just not good to have one of your characters literally just not exist for like 80% of the story. Speaking of not existing, Ted Wheeler, another one. He only shows up to say the most dad things ever. He never has anything useful to add to the story. And it's annoying because I wish he had a place sometimes because he's so funny. But the way that they utilize him, not a fan of it. Kali, all right. She'll get a C tier. I mean, she's interesting in some ways, but the way that whole episode just kind of cut all the tension and took us somewhere else and felt like we were starting from square one, and Kali is really not a nice person and really kind of takes advantage of 11. I wasn't a fan of it. I wasn't a fan of the character. Wasn't a fan of the way the character was used. I wasn't a fan of her and 11's relationship very much. So solid C tier. Oh, we got Enzo. Enzo's another S tier character. You got to give Enzo big props. I mean, there's just no two ways about it. He is a phenomenal counterpart to Hopper in this season. The conversations and the banter they have is absolutely amazing. All right, now for Scott Clark. He's really solid. He's got to get a solid S tier. I mean, him in seasons 1 and 2 particularly, he's just great. He's the teacher we all want. I mean, dude's amazing. Helps teach them about how to get to the upside down and doesn't even know it. Great character. Argyle, the homie, deserves double S's. Phenomenal season 4 character. Really the strongest character in the Mike, Will, Jonathan group this season. And I think he has the most lines too. And I'm cool with that. Argyle was great. Not that I'm cool with how non-impactful that storyline was, but cool with Argyle, that's for sure. Sam Owens, bro deserves double S's too. I mean, he's a phenomenal doctor in this show and like the moral opposite of, where's this guy? Martin Brenner. So he really is positioned well as the good doctor, and I like the way his character's acted, the way that he helps Elle turn into Jane at the end of season 2, And when he comes in at the end of season 3, he really cleans up the mess, so to speak. We got Murray Bauman, who this season's definitely elevated himself up to double S's. Murray's such a strong character. He's so entertaining. He's so funny. He's so believable. Great, great character. I love it. Barbara Holland. The only reason she's an S is because she didn't get enough screen time. Great character. Barb's a legend. Eddie Munson. Easy double S's. Strongest character the entire season. I got to give this man heavy, heavy credit. The man Joseph Quinn for the way he played Eddie. Phenomenally done. We have Bob Newby. Another double S's. The supporting character of season 2. Bob Newby is amazing, and they almost had me. They almost had me thinking he was going to survive the whole season. I'm like, he ain't going to make it. And then right at the end, they convinced me that he might, and then boom. Karen Wheeler, solid A character. She's not in it very much, but the scenes that she's in, she's pretty impactful. Her whole storyline with Billy was well done and made you like Karen even more by the end of it, which was nice, but in the beginning they kind of made her look pretty rough. But, I get it. Man. I get what they're going for, you know what I mean? So I'm willing to give her a decent pass on that docking her character too much. It kind of evened itself out a little bit. But she's not in the show enough to really be rated any higher than that. We could talk about the theory about she knows more at some point if we get to it. I don't even know what the theory is, but I've seen a bunch of people mentioning it. Erica, easy S tier. A lot of people didn't like her in season 2 and 3 for just being kind of like a one-note annoying brat, quote-unquote. I've liked her since the beginning. Every scene she's in I thought was very entertaining. Robin, double S's. Robin is an amazing character, and she's really stepped it up to the next level this season. Her relationship with Steve, her relationship with Nancy, her relationship with Vicky, all phenomenally done. Billy, solid S tier. I mean, he's a phenomenal character in a lot of ways. I just hated him so much and really just got upset for a while during season 2, which I now realize was really good storytelling, because the way that they handled just having one scene near the end of season 2 tell you pretty much everything you need to know about why he was acting this way was very effective. I'm not going to lie, it was very effective. I'm not sure. There's just something that stops me from absolutely loving the character. I really, really like the character, but not quite enough to go into the double S's. Max, definite double S's, been elevated to the next level this season. I was always a decent fan of her from end of season 2 onwards. I wasn't a big fan of her when she first came in, but she didn't irk me very much. The main way that irked me was the way that she tried to get Mike to like her. That just got kind of annoying to me at some point. But I get the character. A lot of people are saying that it was confusing the way they introduced her as, not wanting anything to do with them and then being really excited once she got around them. I thought that made a lot of sense. I thought that they slowly... she had a bunch of fronts put up, a bunch of walls put up. And then Lucas and Dustin worked their way around the walls. And then she was just like, oh, I can actually be comfortable being myself here. And it was really believable to me. But the way she handled the whole Mike thing was the only thing that bothered me. Season 3, I liked her a lot, even though she was coming between Mike and Elle. I get it. She's on the flip end of what she was doing in season 2. But season 4, absolutely phenomenal character. Cannot be understated. Martin Brenner, he deserves double S's. I hate the character a lot, and I've hated him for most of the show. But by the end of his time on the show, I was like, I get it, man. I get it. He didn't realize that he was a bad guy. He just had really barbaric methods. It was honestly pretty tragic in a lot of ways, his character. But phenomenally done, really amazing character arc. Absolute fan. Jim Hopper. Double S's, mainly because he's been so amazing in season 1 and season 4 particularly. Decent bits during season 2 and 3, but honestly, I was really disappointed with season 2 and 3 Hopper because he was my favorite in season 1. But then by the time mid to halfway through season 3 came around, I really enjoyed his whole setup with arguing with Joyce all the time. I thought that was a lot of fun. And him and Alexi scenes. And yeah, he's so good in seasons 1 and 4 that I'm willing to excuse a bit of what I'm still upset about in 2 and 3. But nonetheless, Hopper, amazing character. Amazing. Hopper season 1 to me will probably always be my favorite season 1 character. Great stuff. Joyce, easy double S's. The way Joyce went from going crazy trying to find Will to going crazy getting Hopper back was an amazing kind of progression of her character to not only being about the family she has, but the family she wants. Because obviously she went through the whole thing with Lloyd off screen. So it's been amazing to watch her process of Lonnie, not Lloyd, her process of moving through that a bit throughout the show and in finding Will and in truly being the mother that she has always wanted to be, and in seeing her son Jonathan grow up into something that she fully believes in and is proud of and is able to kind of like see her success in real time, to now taking that next step and really looking for love and not having it just come to her. She's going out of her way, cross country, across the world, to get back a person that she wants to be with, not only to protect, which is phenomenal to see. Phenomenal to see her taking control of her own life. All right, Steve Harrington, another easy, double S's. Double S, Steve Harrington. Need I say more? I hated him in season 1, became great by the end. Season 2 comes around, is amazing. Season 3, even better. Season 4, he's just killing it. He's just killing. What can you say? Jonathan, easy S tier. I think he's been a little underused. Well, I should say heavily underused in seasons 3 and 4, but in 1 and 2, he's a really, really solid character, and I like the way they used him. Even season 3, I didn't mind it. Season 4, I can kind of accept it because by the end of the season, they completed the character arc of him telling Will that, he'll always be there for him. I like that, but just underused, man. Great character, not enough screen time. Nancy Wheeler, easy double S's. Oh my God. The legendary leader of the whole squad. She's always killing it. She's always strapped down and ready to go. She gets into the down and dirty of the situations and deals with it like nobody else. She is the survivor of this show. Amazing. If anyone survives, it's going to be Nancy. Let me just say that. Will Byers, another easy S tier. Phenomenally strong character, just not used enough in the past 2 seasons. And for the first 2 seasons, you don't see much of him anyway because he's playing the Mind Flayer or he's captured. So it's really just like, I should say stuck in the Upside Down. But it's really just like we haven't seen enough of Will. I feel like in certain ways we've seen more of Mind Flayer Will than original Will. And I really like original Will. All the scenes that original Will is in are amazing, but I don't feel like we've gotten enough of them. Hopefully we get a lot more in season 5. Let's go. Dustin Henderson. That is an double S tier character. Honestly, probably easily my favorite of the original group of friends. Great character. He's hilarious. He's very logical. He's great. Honestly, he's so funny. He makes a lot of sense. He discovers a lot of things. He's smart in ways a lot of the others aren't. Just a great, great character. And him and Susie's relationship, I really like. I like when they sing the song at the end of season 3. Apparently, a lot of people didn't like that. I love that. Lucas, easy double S tier character. Coming around this season, he just came out punching. He really took it on, man. Lucas is an amazing character this season, and that completed his arc in a lot of ways, the first 2 seasons for me. And first 4 seasons, I mean. So, it all makes Lucas even better, everything that happened this season, to the point that all the earlier seasons are elevated. So he's definitely stepped it up to double S tiers, maybe even from A. I would have put him at A at the end of season 3, but double S tiers by the end of season 4. Amazing stuff. Mike Wheeler, now you're going to get knocked down to an A. You're a great character, man. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that's a rough one. Putting him in A, I'm going to bump him up to S. His relationship with Eleven is great. His conversations with Will in seasons 2 and 3 are great. There's a decent amount of good ones in this season, but he's really oblivious. And he does some really good stuff in those first 2 seasons, especially. But definitely season 3 and 4, I feel like the character's been knocked down a peg or two. Not as interesting to me as I feel he could be at the moment. So we got 11 then as an S tier. 11 isn't as great as I would like her to be. For me, she's a phenomenal character and she's acted extremely well, and the positions they put her in are really great. I just feel like a lot of storylines she's meant to carry on her own, and I want more other people in those scenes a lot of the time when I'm watching them. But that doesn't change the fact that she's effectively carrying them on her own. I just like the ensemble cast approach of this show so much that a lot of her solo scenes to me feel kind of lacking side characters. But nonetheless, that shouldn't reflect too poorly on her character. Just the way she's utilized, I don't always enjoy, but it makes total sense and it works very well. So that's an S tier. So that is the list here, folks, as our double S tier characters. We got the Demogorgon, we got Dart, we got Vecna, we got Victor Creel, we got Alexi, Chrissy Cunningham, Argyle, Dr. Sam Owens, we got Murray, we got Eddie, we got Bob Newby, we got Robin, we got Max, we got Martin Brenner, the Doc, we got Hopper, we got Joyce, we got Steve, Nancy, Dustin, and Lucas. That's our SS tier. That is 18 characters, the most out of any grouping. Then in the S tier, we got 17 characters, second most out of any grouping, which is a very good sign. Going all the way down, there gets less and less. So that means this show is very top-heavy, which is very impressive. We got Eden in the S tier, Mind Flayer. We got Neil Hargrove, the dad. We got Wayne Munson. We got Claudia Henderson, Dustin's mom. We got Susie. We got Bruce. We got Jason. We got Terry Ives. We got Yuri. We got Enzo. We got Mr. Clark. We got Barb. We got Erica. We got Billy. We got Jonathan, Will, Mike, and 11. That's 17 in the S tier. And in the A tier, we got the Russian Demogorgon, Vicky, Agent Harmon, Agent Wallace, 2, Doris Driscoll, Funshine, Benny Hammond, Angela, Troy Walsh, Patrick McKinney, and Karen Wheeler. That's 11 in the A tier. In the B tier, we got Ray Carroll, we got Andy, we got Jake, we got Axel, Connie, Keith, Lonnie, Heather, Tommy, Fred, and Larry, which is the mayor. And then in the C category, B has 10 people in it. C's got 8. And in the C category, we got Marissa the librarian, we got Mrs. Kelly, we got Dottie, we got Gregory, we got the bully James, we got Tom Holloway, we got Carol, we got Becky Ives, and we got 8. 8 characters in the C category. And then down to the D category, we got Florence, we got Mick, Jack Sullivan, which is the big bad military guy from this season. We got Callahan. We got now Chief Powell. We got Holly Wheeler, and we got Ted Wheeler. That is 7 characters in the D category. Oh no, that means that in the C category, we have 9 characters. In the B category, we got 11 characters. Oh, we got 12 characters in A. We got 19 characters in S. And that means we got 20 characters in double S's. Okay, that changes things. All right, so 20 characters in double S's, 19 in S. We got 12 in A. We got 11 in B. We got 9 in C. We got 7 in D. And in F, we got 3 characters I don't remember. Ellen Stinson, Anthony Hatch, and Mr. Bingham. That is the entire Stranger Things character list tier ranking. Phenomenally top-heavy for a phenomenal show. See you next time, everybody.